Hey guys, Jeff here, and today I want to talk about this guy. This is one of my more challenging cubes in my collection because every other cube that I have, that's not true. Most of the cubes that I have can just be treated more or less like a 3x3 with the exceptions of the square 1, square 2. The rest of them very closely related, but this guy I was not able to figure out on my own. I couldn't relate it to things that I knew. The only way I was able to solve this was by finding a video by a channel called Twisty Puzzling, and of course I will link that video right up here. But my problem was that that video was 48 minutes long, where he was literally just talking through how he solved this. What I ended up doing is I watched that video multiple times. I don't even want to think about how many times. And I have created a document. I printed it out in black and white, which probably isn't the best. But I'm going to have a digital version of this. This is actually from, I made it in Google Slides. I might see if I can make like a PDF of it. And I will try to link that down below. Because for me, having instructions is really helpful, and it actually doesn't even take that many instructions to get all the way through here. So what I intend to do today is I want to try to do a shorter video than his. His is excellent. His is honestly the only way that I learned how to do this. First though, let's do a quick review on this cube. This is WTS. Got it from Amazon, and they call it the Wilking Cancer Cube Edge Turn. I like this cube. I like what the edge turning is and the way it makes me think about things. I don't like the sticker quality. Because of all of these little parts, you can see I've actually used some tape to try to keep from losing them. At some point, I am either gonna, at some point in probably the near future, I will either need to re-sticker this guy, or I'm considering, anybody with cubing experience, could I paint the sides? Could I use something like nail polish that I can use to color the sides, and so I don't have to worry about the stickers coming off? Dang it, there's another one coming up that's gonna need that same treatment. All right, anyways, on to what we need to know for solving this. So the first couple parts of the instructions are just talking about how we actually name the parts. So these guys out here, looking at the triangular face, we call these the corners. In here, we call these the wide triangles for obvious reasons. And then these out here we call wings because of the way they go across the two sides. And no surprise to anybody, this right here we call the center. Now, I had to make up my own notation for how to actually make any instructions. So the way I do it is I keep one of the 6 points, right? 4 on one each end, yeah. I keep one of the 6 points facing me, and I use some letters here to talk about what we're turning. So you see how I have the U on this line. Turning this edge is my U. Down here, I call it my down, my right, my left. Up here is an upper right, down right, upper left, down left. And I will actually say these to myself as I'm solving it, as I'm trying to go through. Again, I'm going to try to do this without doing the complete solve on camera, but instead just show you kind of how each part is working. So we are going to break this into steps, and I will try to have the instructions, the pertinent parts up on screen hopefully at the same time so you can see how those go together. So I'm going to scramble this, and then I'm going to come back to start talking about where we go from there. All right, I have scrambled it, and it is worth mentioning real quick that what I have done is called a non-jumbling scramble. There is a way that you can get these things lined up just right, so that way you can turn them and it doesn't maintain its shape, but I can't even understand how to make it do that consistently, let alone how to solve that. So we're sticking with a non-jumbled scramble. That's all I've learned so far, and I've had this thing for like a year or two. So our first step is we need to make all the corners on each face match. Now, I don't really have much in the way of a pattern for that. Typically, we're just kind of moving around. So like right now, I need this guy because I have that blue and gray. Here's the blue and gray. I know it needs to come down here. But right there isn't right. So instead, I'm just going to work my way kind of around the triangle. See, that didn't do it yet. Try one more time around the triangle. Boom, there we are. So then I'll find the other one. All right, so I've got one face done as far as having the corners in place. As you can see, the rest aren't. So I'm going to pause this, and I'll be back when I have all of those corners in place. Okay, so I have finished almost all the corners, but I did want to bring you into the one difficulty that sometimes shows up. I have all of the corners in place except for these two. You can see they match up here, but I haven't matched them up correctly here. And so the one kind of pattern that I need sometimes, I just have to switch to, is it just a switch to? Anyways, I know these guys kind of need to be cycled around. So what I found is I kind of take them this way. So I'll do, just looking at this triangle, and turn the left side up, right side up, and then do that again. And now you can see we've got our red corners, yellow corners, gray corners, green corners, our blue corners, white corners, purple, and orange. So all of the corners are in place. That is step one complete. Now, for step two, what we care about now is what we call the orbits for the wide triangles. So this one is one of the steps that feels kind of weird, but what we're doing is we're kind of making, where do we go? We're kind of going around. So if I hold two triangles like this, one flat top, one flat on the bottom, I say triangle, I mean faces. We're going to go around and we're trying to make sure that these wide triangles right in here, they're not necessarily with the right corners, but we make sure that we have the right ones in place here. So for me, because it's hard to keep track, all I know is I shouldn't have green or orange in this orbit, and right there is a problem. So what we're going to do is we have a way of moving this up here. Gracious, that's not what I want to do, but we'll do it. We have a way of moving this up here. And again, hopefully I have the icon up here. But if we want to switch in this way, our pattern is to turn our down right. Nope, did that wrong. Turn our down right, turn our right, turn our top, our upper one. We're going to turn right, down right, and right. And then there's one more thing we have to do, because all of that cycling means if we turn around to the back, we're going to see we've messed up these. So we're going to turn that. So now we have all of those rebuilt, and we're going to try checking again. Again, just trying to find one orbit that works. So let's see, I'm going to put blue up top, red on the bottom. I'm looking through this orbit to make sure, do I have any blue or red in this orbit? Bugger. There's one of each. So I'm going to swap those two first, I think. Again, that's down right, right, upper, right, down right, right, and then find that one in the back. So we're just going to keep working with that, trying to cycle things around until we get all of the orbits fixed, and we'll be back after that's set up. All right, it took a little bit of doing, but now I've got an orbit here where I have my white corners up here, my yellow corners down here, and if I look around at this orbit, there is no white or yellow. So there are a let's see, if there's 8 faces, there are 4 orbits, but obviously if we have 1 orbit done, that means if I switch now to say green and purple, that's not, oh, that's gray and purple, obviously I can see I'm gonna have to fix one, but the more I go along, the less there is that'll need fixed. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix the rest of the orbits and then be back with you. Okay, it can be hard to tell, but I do have all of the orbits complete now. And the way I check that is I will start, again, I've got white and yellow, and I'm going through here and I have no white and yellow in this orbit. So I'm gonna pick another pair, let's say green and orange. There's no green or orange in this orbit. Red and blue I haven't shown you yet. So there's no red and blue in here, which also means that my last one, which should be so orange and green, there's no orange and green in here. So the next thing we want to do is we want to get all of the wide triangles put into the correct place. And we've got 2 different sets of patterns, but it's just a matter of whether we're moving them kind of uphill or downhill. What I mean by that is, let me find someone. Okay, so here I've got this white and I want to move it down. And what you're going to be doing with these 2 patterns is you're either going to cycle these 3 wide triangles, either to cycle them down with this one coming up here, or else vice versa. So to cycle down like we have here, we're going to do left, right, left, down, left, right, left, down. And the pattern is actually really similar. It's just a matter of whether you do left first or down first. So to move down, we're going to start with our left, right, left, down. So watch that this white will end up down here, but left, right, left, down. I'll repeat that one more time. Left, right, left, down. So now you see we have the white here. For me, I like to try to get all of them into one particular face first. And so I'm going to try to find the other whites. Now, sometimes, like this one here, you see it's way far away. But sometimes it's really handy to actually, let's see, where's the best place to put it? I think if I put it right there, yes, if I put it right there, can you see how we have a 3 set that's going to put it up there? And I also should have mentioned earlier on that when I'm talking about turning these edges, you notice I'm not saying clockwise or counterclockwise. It doesn't matter. You're doing a 180-degree turn here, right? So I'm going to turn this once. That way I can see that this is going to go here. Now I'm going to orient it, and I see that I want it to go, since I want it to come back up here, it's going to be another down cycle, just like I did last time, which is, again, left, right, left, nope, down. Gotta keep everything straight. And one more time, left, right, left, down. Now, there's 2 of those there. I do want to go back to what I had originally turned. Who turned? It was this one. And put that back in place. So, I'm going to try to find an upward cycle to show you. And I'll be back with that in a moment. Turns out it didn't take much. I found my other white and I turned it around, so now it's here. It's here. I want it to go here. And so to take it up, again, this time we're going to do down, left, right, left, down, left, right, left. So down, left, right, left, and again, down, left, right, left. With that, the white face is done. Again, I need to remember to turn this back. So again, we're just going to work through all of these to try to get these in place. There is one special case that comes up, and we'll see if that comes up as I finish up. So I did finish this, and I always try to finish 4 together and then kind of work, so almost like a hemisphere at a time. But we'll be back when we get closer to having the wide triangles all done. Now sometimes when we're doing the wide triangles, and by the way, I've already got all of that done, which I hope you can see there, so I always hold it this way. We start running into situations where we have 2 that need swapped, but not necessarily the third. And then we got to get creative, which takes us to our other pattern, our B pattern in fixing the wide triangles. And we have a way of doing kind of a double swap. And so I see that if I do this twist here, then both of these go down to here. And I can fix that. And again, looking at it this way, I can fix that if I do a down, right, down, right, down, right. So down, right, down, right, and then one more time, down, right. Now I'm going to turn this guy back. And we're going to see that we're getting a whole lot closer to where we need to be. We still have a few more of those because I got to switch those two and those two. So I need to do some creative maneuvering to get them in this pattern here, or else to at least get something else that's in a similar situation. So I know I need those two. So really I need to make it so these two are also needing to swap. But yeah, one of the big things with this cube is you have to spend a lot of time kind of puzzling out, okay, I know I can do this thing, how can I rearrange them so they're doing the thing that I need, right? So I see I got to do this, I need to do some creative pairing. It might even just work. So a lot of times what you're doing is you're going to scramble something that is mostly fixed now, so then you can do the 3 set that we did before. So I wonder, let's just see before I pause this and get ready to go on. I'm going to try to go through this because there's a chance. No, I don't think it will. Because if I swap those, I'm taking both of those out, and that one doesn't even need to be it. So anyways, I'm going to have to take some time to find the correct pairing to get that finished up, but I'm going to do that off camera and get ready for the next part. All right, that took me a while. You're definitely glad that I paused the video instead of making you watch through it, but you can see now each face has the corner and the wide triangles all exactly correct. What I ended up having to do was scramble something in the hemisphere that I had, not scramble, but kind of switch in with the 2 pairs swap to finally set up for a 3 swap that worked. The next part, the next step, step 4, is probably one of my favorites because it's just so straightforward, and that is fixing the centers. You'll see that we already have 2 fixed, and the center swap is a 3 cycle. So let's find a nice place for it. Oh, I've got 3 fixed already. Where's 3? There we go. So boom, boom, boom. We're going to swap these 3, and we're going to use up, right, up, left, up, right, up, left. So we'll swap these up and right, and up and left. Repeat that, up, right, up, left. You'll see that 2 of them are in the right place. So now, actually, we're going to do this one in real time because all that's left is these 3 that need swapped. So if I turn that, and that's the biggest deal with this cube, is having to, it's almost like playing chess, as you imagine. Well, if I move that thing, then I actually have the setup I need. So we're going to have to go through it twice, but then we'll have the centers all done. So again, up, right, up, left, up, right, up, left. So we did the cycle once, they're closer to home. One more time, up, right, up, left, up, right, up, and left. Now, double check, because we turned this one to create our situation, we need to put that back. But now, the cube looks a lot closer to done. All we have left are these wings. But the wings require some of the most mental chess of all. I am actually going to pause just because I spend a long time looking at it to even find what I need. I'm gonna pause this, find a good situation for us, and then I'll demonstrate how we can move the wings around. All right, found it for you. So here we have the blue-white. On the left side this time, we want it to come down here. And again, our cycle will take it from here to here. This one comes down, this one comes over. So this time, we're just gonna start with basically we're starting with the direction it's coming from, and that kind of determines the rest. So to come down, we're gonna do left, right, left, right, up, down, up. Now remember, we're going to repeat the same idea, but starting from the other side. Right, left, right, left, up, down, up. There you go, that one's in place. So those are all of the steps. You're going to use these last two steps here to fix the wings. You're just going to keep going through. The last couple are going to be a little bit more difficult because you have to play some serious mental chess to get to the end. I'm going to try to get close to the end and just show you what it looks like when you're trying to finish up. All right, I have found an excellent example of the mental chess that I keep talking about with trying to put these in. I found out that this one needs to come here, this one needs to come here. And what I realized, and a lot of times for me, I will actually do a little bit of twisting, but I try to limit it to only 2 or 3 twists to try to see if I can set up for the wing switch like I talked about. So here, I found that if I switch here and here, so that's 2, and then I turn it over, then it's set up to go in here. The last thing to remember is that this one's going to come over here and around, but I actually want this one here. So I'm going to do a third turn right here. Okay, so now you can see it looks kind of jumbled. I'm going to go ahead and go through the pattern. Left, right, up, down, up, and then a right, left, up, down, up. Now, once you finish it, you got to remember that we have some things we have to undo. So I turned this guy last, so now it's got to be the first one. And then over here, and sometimes you can kind of figure it out, but it gets deceiving. It's like this red looks like it belongs there, but it doesn't. So we're going to turn here for 2. And then now we can see there's my third turn. So that's the kind of mental chess that we're playing when I talk about trying to figure out where things go and get them put into place. So I'm just going to keep going. And again, I'm going to save the last maybe 1 or 2 cycles. I'll save that for you guys so we can finish this out together. All right, I have taken time, and here's what we have left. We have one here, here, and here, which doesn't seem to follow any of our patterns, but this is where our mental chess is going to come into play. Let's see if I can remember. So I actually took the time to figure this out to double check. So let's see. I believe if I take this here, so that's 1 movement. And up here for 2. Nope. That's trying to. There we go. For 2, 3. So now these 2. Yeah. And if I flip this over here, there we go. There's 4 movements that I have to undo after I do the pattern. But now I'm all set for this to come here, this to come here, and this to come here. I think if I do it once, I'll have it. Let's go right, left, things straight, up, down, up, left, right, and things are not looking great right now. That's the nature of the cube, right? Left, right, up, down, up. So now the only thing left to do, hopefully, is we're going to undo those mental chess pieces we did. So this was the last thing that I turned, so I'm going to turn this. And sometimes I start to forget, but if you look at it, you can usually kind of figure things out. I think I turned here. Yes, that looks good. All right, you can start to see it now, right? Because this is all solid, so if I turn this one, then there we go. So there we go. I've solved the whole cube. Yes, I didn't take you on every single step, but hopefully my document can help you. And again, this will be linked in the description, so that way you can have your own copy of it. You can print it out if you are like me and you like physical things, but that way you can start to solve the edge-turning octahedron. It's been a fun challenge. I should mention that last part you saw me do, the first couple times I was learning this, I would actually get to a part when it comes to doing the wings where I just had to call it a day. I had to set it down and I come back to it the next day. A lot of times stepping aside and then coming back with fresh eyes will let you see those chess moves you need to make. But anyways, that's what I got for you today. If you've found this helpful, if you are a fellow cuber and have wanted to see something like this or figure something like this out, please let me know in the comments. It lets me know what kind of stuff people are enjoying. But I had to share this, especially share this document. So with that, I'll talk to you all later.